Hey, you guys. So it is a very chill night. I'm in my PJs. I had a very, very long day, but it was fun. I was in the sun a lot today, though. So for work, I was with my team and we did like a team activity together. And so we took some time this afternoon to play just play outside and in a pool. And then Eric and I, when I got home, we went to a splash pad with Ray and some friends and had a little picnic and ate dinner and stuff. And it was very fun. But I'm tired. I'm like sunburned. I took a shower, did my skincare routine, put my hair in a bun. It's wet, and I'm wearing my glasses. So it's a very chill night. I've got some water that I'm just gonna sip on. And I'm just gonna wait and see who wants to hop on and chat with me today. Um, so tonight we're gonna talk for about 30 minutes. And I really want to talk about pregnancy announcements that are happening right now because I feel like there are a lot going on right now. And I don't know if it's just because of like the COVID thing, quarantine, whatever, but a lot of people are announcing pregnancies right now, and it's a lot. So, for those of you who are still in the thick of trying to conceive, I know how, like, just it's a whole mix of emotions, those pregnancy announcements. So, we're going to chat about that's going to be the main topic today. We're going to chat a little bit about that. But, and sorry, my lighting is a mess tonight. So, it's a little bit like, right, let me get this closer to me. And you can probably see it reflected in my glasses. I'm sorry about that, but we'll figure out this whole situation with the lighting and stuff. I have a bunch of lights, but I need to plan better with my lives. I need to like actually like set it all up and be good to go before I get on. I mean, I need to like before 8. I usually just put it all together right before 8. So anyway, but I do want this to just be a casual chit chat time to chat with you guys, to talk with you guys. Sometimes I almost wish we could do a Zoom call because it's like weird me just talking to myself, kind of. But so feel free to put your comments in the comment section and get the chat going and let me know where you're from. I'm curious where you guys are from tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, by the way. I really do appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to first, before we get into like the main topic of pregnancy announcements and navigating that whole thing, I wanted to read a couple of these submissions. So if you guys don't know, if you are new to the live stream, I have a form. I'll leave it in the description box below. And I have a form where you can go on and you can share your infertility story or just whatever story. It doesn't have to be yours. It could be someone else's. It's just honestly a way for people to submit their story so I can read it, so you can get support and maybe like reach out and hear other people's experience with maybe that type of infertility that you're dealing with or your story. See if it connects with other people. That's the whole point of this. We just want to build community and connection because when you're going through the thick of infertility and you're just feeling very lost and lonely, you just need a community. So that is what my goal has been with my channel. That's like my main goal. So, okay, so we have lots of people on. You guys, thank you so much for joining. So we've got Kansas City, New Zealand. Ooh, New Zealand. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand. That is like bucket list. Orlando, Florida. Want to go there too because I want to go to Disney World. I've never been to Disney World. Oklahoma, New Jersey, Texas. Texas in the house. I love Texas. If I didn't live in Utah, I would live in Texas. That's what I would say. I just really like Texas. because people are really nice there, at least in my experience. And I don't know, I really like the Dallas area, Austin. I've been to Houston too. It's really hot though. Um, okay, so let me, oh yeah, so in the description box below, there will be a link to this form if you'd like to submit your story, and I will read it here on this live. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I did post today, and you can go vote if you haven't already, but vote on my poll and let me know. Do you guys like these live streams? I really appreciate you being here. I love chatting with you guys here in the comments or in the chat over there. I don't know what to call it. Is it comments or chat or whatever? I do love, and like I really enjoy doing these live streams. But I've always wanted to start a podcast, always. And I'm really feeling like the drive to do it right now. So I might, what I'm thinking, the poll that I put out on Instagram is, would you rather me do weekly live stream or a weekly podcast? And so far it's like half and half. But what I'm thinking is maybe I'll do a monthly live stream and make it just a little better video quality and like production value, and then do a weekly podcast. And the weekly podcast would be me interviewing other people who have gone through infertility, who have a story they want to share, people that, in the infertility community, just doing good things, that sort of thing. And then also just kind of sharing education and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's just my thought right now. I would really love to do a podcast. And I also thought maybe it'd be fun to do with Eric, maybe the whole thing, or maybe just get him to come in on some of the episodes. He doesn't know this at all. I mean, maybe I've talked to him about this. I can't remember. I don't think I've talked to him about this, but anyway, so let me know, would you guys be down with that? A podcast once a week and then a live stream once a month. And then I'll just continue on with my regular YouTube content that I usually do. Right now I'm doing on Sundays a fitness update because I'm, working on some fitness goals right now that I want to share with you guys. And then I do some updates and stuff like on Ray, who is my daughter, if you guys don't know, if you're new here. But yeah, so, okay. If you are here, we're going to get into the first story right now. But if you'll give me a thumbs up, a like, that really does help. It just tells YouTube, I was going to say Instagram, but it tells YouTube that this video is being engaged with and they should show it to more people. So thumbs up, please. Give me a like. Okay. Hello, more Texas in the house and Cali. So what part of California? Because I feel like if you say Cali, you mean Southern California, but maybe that's just me. And then Northern California is like, I don't know, it's just so different. I feel like it could be two different states. Anyway, so moving on to the first story, and then we'll talk about kind of our main subject for tonight. So it says, I have PCOS and severe male factor, 0 sperm morphology, motility is low, and she's feeling very depressed. She's had 4 IUIs, they all failed, 1 IVF, 1 failed miscarriage, and I think she just wants support. So she's just reaching out for support. So I'm not going to give the name because I do these anonymously, but let's just put some hearts in the comments, in the chat, because I want us all to just like shower some love out there to our fellow sisters who are just struggling, like just feeling so lonely. And I just, like, my heart literally just aches because I know that feeling. And like I've told you guys before, we have our daughter, which I so grateful for. I just never thought I would be a mom, honestly. However, we do want to have another baby, but it's just, it puts you, when you start trying again, when you've been through infertility, it really just puts you in a vulnerable place, excuse me. And I'm scared to open myself up to all of the hurt that can come with trying again. So I'm doing another transfer. So anyway, we are with you. We love you, and we are sending you all of the hearts. Look at all these hearts coming in. You guys are so sweet. Love beats the odds, she says. You've got this, girl. And I totally agree. We all got this. We can do it. It's such a lonely, sad struggle that we have to go through, but I'm so grateful for this community, you guys. It's been amazing. So she does have a question here. She wants to ask what clinic I went to for IVF. And I don't usually give this information out freely, only because I don't know, like it's I don't know if I should, but if you watch my YouTube videos, if you've watched all of them, then you would know, because I do mention it in my YouTube videos in the beginning, like some of the beginning ones. But I will just tell you guys, I went to, and I go to Utah Valley, her Utah Fertility Center, which is in different locations in Utah, but they are one of the top rated fertility clinics. They are like the top fertility clinic in Utah. They're very good at what they do. The doctors there are awesome. I went to the doctor. I really just kind of looked up the best doctor in Utah, and the same doctor was coming up, so I went to him. And yeah, that's basically why I decided to go to Utah Fertility Center, because the best doctor that I could find, from based off my research, was at Utah Fertility Center. But there are, oh my gosh, I think it's Fertility IQ, the website. If you're looking for a great doctor for you, if you need help choosing a doctor, then I would suggest going to Fertility IQ and reading through the reviews and experiences that people have had with doctors on there. So check out Fertility IQ. They also have a bunch of other just really great information on their website. It's a great resource. So, all right, what are you guys drinking tonight? I am drinking water, and I'm super thirsty. So one sec. And sorry, this is kind of loud. So Eric bought these water bottles off Amazon, and it was so funny. One of the girls that bought this one did a review of it and a video showing how loud the water bottle was when she drank out of it. And it is kind of loud now that I'm drinking it on a live stream. All right. Okay. So we are here for you, girl. Thank you for submitting your question and just where you're at, what you're dealing with right now. We're here for you, and there are so many of us who have experienced a lot of what you're going through, and it sucks. So, I mean, that's one thing I kind of always say is just infertility sucks. Like, there's not a lot you can say to just like to make it better, other than, hey, we're here. We get it. We get it, and it sucks. And we're really sorry that you have to be dealing with it too. But you got this. We're sending you love. Okay. All right. So the next story, one other story, and then this one will kind of tie into the topic of pregnancy announcements and how we deal with that. It's part of the infertility community. So it says, hello. So I've been off birth control around 4 years. My husband and I have been actively trying to conceive for the first baby a little longer than a year with no luck. And it's just so frustrating and depressing at the same time. Yep. And I know exactly what you mean there. Super frustrating. frustrating and depressing. Sorry, I should finish the sentence. At the same time, to see so many people around me getting pregnant. I know it sounds awful, but it's just something I can't seem to avoid. But I've been, oh, she's been dragging going to the doctor because she knows, she feels and she knows something must be wrong. But going to the doctor and them telling me that she can't have kids or that something is wrong, it's terrifying for me. It's like ignorance is bliss. Yep, I know that. And me not knowing for sure still gives me hope every month that I could be pregnant. But then I get my period and it's a horrible toxic cycle. So we've decided to go to the doctor finally. Good. Our first appointment is September 14th. So hopefully we'll get the answers and we will soon be expecting our little bundle of joy. I would love some guidance in what to expect, how is the process and steps. Thank you for listening or reading, I guess. Okay, so if you guys, those of you who have been through IVF, I know some of you have been through IVF in the chat over here. So maybe put some like some advice, just let her know what she can expect. Maybe what was your first appointment like? And I'm not sure, are you going to, I'm assuming she's just going to a doctor, like family doctor, an OBGYN, or are you going to a fertility doctor? I'm not sure. She didn't specify there, but my biggest advice at this point would be to research and advocate for your own care, because doctors have the tools that can help you and the procedures, and they can help you with what's available for the most part, right? But they aren't going to advocate for you the way that you deserve, honestly. Most doctors are very busy and they're great. It doesn't mean they're not great at what they do, but you do have to go in, not just leaving it all up to your doctor to decide what should be done, like what tests, what to look at, what blood tests to do, all that kind of stuff. So my advice is it depends on what doctor you're going to. If you're just going to your OBGYN and you're like, oh, we've been trying for this long and we're not pregnant, they're going to probably put you on Clomid. You might feel, and I'm not saying all doctors are like this, but in my experience, most will just kind of like, let's just put you on some Clomid and give it 2 to 3 months and you'll be fine. Because they probably get this a lot. So it's just like, oh, everyone's the same, which is so not true for fertility especially. But anyway, so I would go in having done some research. You've got a month, a little less than a month to do some research and start digging into where you're at, what you think you might be dealing with, and like really hone into your cycles and how long are your cycles, are they painful, all that kind of stuff, because you want to possible issues, things that cause not IVF, infertility, PCOS, endometriosis, low sperm quality, motility, all that kind of stuff. But also, there's so many different things, but also low diminished ovarian reserve. Anyway, a bunch of things. So just do some research. Maybe if you don't feel good with what your doctor says right at first, then don't be afraid to get a second opinion or go to another doctor. You just really have to advocate for your own healthcare. And that is not me bashing on doctors at all, because I absolutely love doctors and I am so, so grateful for them. And I really respect doctors. I really respect the doctors that I've worked with that have helped us to get pregnant and have a successful pregnancy and birth and all of that stuff. So I just think that you really need to advocate for yourself. So yes, research. So CASAP, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Yes, research. She says, yes, research. If it's the first appointment at a fertility clinic, it will be a ton of tests for you and your hubby. Yep, most likely a lot of tests. I did a lot of those tests when I was with my OBGYN, to be honest. A lot of blood tests, a lot of, so we did the HSG. Yeah, you might have to fill out like a form about your health history, what kinds of diseases run in your family, that sort of thing. Research yourself to know what the results mean instead of just taking their first word. I 100% agree with this. So if they say to you, maybe, so like certain tests, like maybe it's is it AMH test that tells your, tells like quality, not quality, but how many eggs, your egg reserve. Anyway, I would say like understand what that means. And that's just, like I said, it's egg reserve, basically how many eggs, how fertile you are as far as eggs go. And if that's a low number, if they say it's really low, we'll ask them for the number and, ask them what they suggest. Just advocate for yourself. You really have to do a lot of research. And that's another reason why I started my channel, was because I really wanted to share my experience, because that would help with people who are trying to advocate for their own health journey, their own fertility treatments and stuff. So, how many times? Okay. Oh, I missed a question here. How long is the average IVF cycle? The average IVF cycle is usually just, I would say it's about, I don't know, average. I don't know like the numbers, but an IVF cycle, if you're doing a fresh transfer, just takes one cycle, because you usually start like a day or two after your cycle, I believe, and with stim shots, and then you do your egg retrieval around when you would ovulate, and then you transfer 5 to 6 days after your egg retrieval with a fresh transfer usually. And then if you are doing a frozen transfer, it would take at least 2 months. So 1 month for fresh usually, and 2 months at least for a frozen transfer. I did a frozen transfer, and we actually waited quite a long time between our egg retrieval and our frozen transfer, just because I just wasn't feeling it took me a while to recover from egg retrieval. I didn't get any sort of, what do they call it, hyperstimulation, but I just didn't feel great and ready to transfer yet. So, okay, how many times do you suggest IUI and go for IVF to make final call? This is such a tricky question. We did one IUI and I just was over it after one. I just didn't feel like, I was looking at the research and I just didn't feel like IUI was going to work for us. But I know it has worked for some people, but I just had this feeling like that it was not going to work with us, and I didn't want to spend any more money on it because we have to pay everything out of pocket. So an IUI cycle for us was like $2,000, $1,500. I think it was a little over $1,500. And so we were like, well, we could do another one, but I just knew it wasn't going to work. I just was not confident in that. Whereas I was like, I feel like IVF could really work for us. And lucky enough, we were very fortunate that it did work for us. So we just moved on. We just started saving for IVF after that. Okay. All right. So you guys can feel free to ask any other questions, but I wanted to get your guys' feedback on this. So she mentioned in there that and answer her if you have any other advice for her as far as what to expect with her first appointment. Okay, so I wanted to just chat for a few minutes here about pregnancy and pregnancy announcements when you are going through IVF. So there's a couple different sides to this, right? There's people who are infertile and they are seeing the pregnancy announcements, and how do you as an infertile woman, whatever, I hate saying infertile, but that's like the easy way to say it. How do you deal when you're struggling to get pregnant? How do you deal with pregnancy announcements? So if you guys have any, you can say terrible things that you do and maybe good things you do. Like I would get angry, sometimes very angry. I would cry. I'd be very upset. Um, I'd get depressed. I'd like um, exclude myself from friend activities for a little bit if I knew, you guys, you just got to do what you got to do. And I don't, I kind of regret some of the ways I reacted, to be honest, because I know it's also hard on your friends that they, so there's that other side to it, right? Like, especially if they know that you're going through IVF, or maybe they know you're dealing with infertility, and they become pregnant, and telling their friend that can't get pregnant, that they're pregnant, is also very hard part of it too. Obviously, they're lucky. They're so lucky that they got pregnant naturally or whatever. Like, and it's frustrating sometimes to be on the other side, being infertile or not being able to get pregnant, and you see someone get pregnant, what seems to be so easily. It is so frustrating. It is so frustrating. And I, yeah, I don't know. How do you guys deal with that on this side, the side of you struggling to get pregnant, and you see all these pregnancy announcements. So I would suggest just get off social media, because it's just, you're gonna come across it a ton. You will. And honestly, I feel like these quarantine babies, like these people that can get pregnant naturally, that were stuck in quarantine, like that's going to be a thing. So anyway, there's two sides of the story. I wonder, have any of you guys been on both sides? Uh, I've been on both sides, and it's it's tough, but I do think it's definitely worse being on the side of struggling to get pregnant and seeing the pregnancy announcements. That's really, really tough, because it's like it should be something that it's something you're trying to do, but it's just not working out for you like it seems to be working out for everyone else. Um, so I do have a friend, and my heart is just aching right now, because she's gone through her second round of IVF, and it didn't work, and it's just tough, because I just want her to get pregnant so badly, and just being on the other end, like I know how she feels, but I also, it's hard, because now that I have a baby, it's like I don't want her to feel excluded, and that was a big thing for me when I was dealing with the thick of it, was just feeling left out. It just feels, it's a really crappy feeling, but it's like I'm not trying to exclude myself. I'm trying so hard to be a part of this mom club, but it's just not working for me. And it's not fair that it's working for you and you and you. And now you're on your fourth baby, and I haven't even gotten pregnant with my first. Like, quit it with these pregnancy announcements. It's hard. Um, so hard dealing with secondary fertility, and balancing having a kid and wanting another one and not having success. I know, like, that seems really hard. There's a whole nother side of it too. I feel like with secondary infertility, I feel like that's a whole nother angle of it, because some people might be like, well, you already have a kid. So, I've heard people say things like that, but it's like, yeah, but that our plan was to have multiple kids, and that's not, that's our desire, and it's just not working. But once again, it looks like everyone else out there, it happens so easily. Can you share how many embryos you had prior to PGS, and how many you lost in the process, and how many you have left? Okay, so I had 8 embryos. And then after PGS, I had 3. We transferred 1, so we have 2 frozen. So we had 22 eggs, 16 fertilized. No, 16 were mature, 11 fertilized, and 8 made it to day 5. It is so hard. I started crying once when I had a pregnant cashier. Oh, yes, embarrassing, but I have totally been there with, like, just seeing random pregnant people, and I'm, like, mad at them. I totally have been there. The emotions are real. It's such and the thing is, it's like, especially with family and friends, it's like, of course you're happy for them, but it's like, it's just so unreal. It's really frustrating. I feel like you have to acknowledge the feelings you are having because they are valid, 100%. And I feel like you need to find somebody that you can talk to that understands those feelings and that can just listen. And whether that's your partner, whether it's a friend who understands, like I was lucky to have a friend um, that totally knew what I was going through. There's also Facebook groups, guys. Like, just reach out to whoever that can empathize with you. And maybe if you need to tell like your partner, sometimes I would just tell Eric, like, I just want to cry and be mad about this. And I just want you to listen. And he'd just sit there and listen to me. Um, and he was sad and stuff about it too, but just it's different. I think we women just internalize it differently, I guess. But if there's any men on here, you can let us know your kind of how your perspective is and what you feel. Because Eric didn't get as upset about pregnancy announcements and stuff. I'm in my 20th year in my journey. It took over 7 years to find out I have PCOS. Now my both tubes are bad. Hopefully soon we'll be having our first IVF. Oh, good luck to you. Sending you lots of baby dust. Um, yeah, you should, like, IVF is a great option for you. Like those of you who have tube issues, I my friend here, um, she has hydros. I can't remember, but I met her through YouTube. Her name is Jessica from Jessica and Ryan. You can watch their YouTube channel. They document their journey and they're on their fourth round of IVF, I want to say. They have one baby girl. She's the same age as Ray, like a day apart, but she doesn't have tubes. I'm pretty sure either they had to remove them or anyway, but she was successful with IVF. So crossing my fingers and sending you baby dust. Secondary infertility here as well. It's so hard. I had miscarriage this year. Oh, I'm so sorry. And even close friends and said I already had a child. It's so hard. Oh my gosh. She has blocked fallopian tubes and hoping God does a miracle. Me too. Lots of miracles. It's possible. Um, let's see. I feel like I missed questions. Oh, where was that? She says, my best friend, this is Brittany. She says, my best friend and I got pregnant around the same time. I tried for years and was on fertility meds, and she got pregnant right away. Ooh, I ended up having a miscarriage. Oh no. And she couldn't understand why I had such a hard time being around her and her new baby. It put such a strain on our friendship. It's so hard. I know, you guys, I have some friendships. One that was the hardest for me was my sister. So we're super close now. We've always been close, but when I was in the really rough spot before doing IVF, she got pregnant, and it was just hard. It was hard to be around her. But now, I mean, I've apologized to her basically, and just been like, tried to explain it. But she was always really great for me. But it did take a little bit of a strain on our relationship. But I'm glad that we've been able to work through it. Oh, could you talk some about the toll that infertility takes on your relationship? Are you talking about with your spouse, your partner? Maybe I'll do like a whole video on that with Eric. Like, see, that would be a great podcast episode. Hydrosalpinx. I was gonna say that honestly, but I didn't want to like butcher it. Yes. Okay, so you have that. So is it Janina? Do you follow Jessica and Ryan? You should, here on YouTube. Yeah, so you have hydrosalpinx, so your tubes are blocked. That's what it was. Okay, especially when they don't seem to understand why you get so upset when everyone else gets pregnant. Okay, yes, when your partner doesn't understand that. Yeah, Eric didn't really understand that. Sometimes he was like, "Wow, everyone can get pregnant," but he didn't take it hard the way that I took it hard. He was like, "Why are you getting so mad? It's not like just because they get pregnant doesn't mean you like it doesn't take anything away from you." And he's so right, but it's really those like we talked about, those emotions are real and you have to just have to settle in with them and not try to avoid them or let anyone tell you that they're not valid because you have a right to feel that way and you can be sad and talk to someone who will listen to you and then move on because that's what you'll have to do and just keep working at it. Um, so Becca says, hydrocell pinks. I had it as well, and I'm recovering from my tube removal, but we are doing IVF round 3 with high hopes. I have very high hopes for you too, Becca. Good luck. Are you doing IVF right now or you're about to do IVF? Male factor infertility here. We are 6 days past our second transfer. That's right. You told me you were doing your transfer soon. Oh my gosh. 6 days past a transfer is like when it gets really hard. So I'm thinking about you right now and I am crossing my fingers for you for that beta test. Oh my gosh. Sending all the baby dust to you. Yes. So yeah. So Janina, you must follow them. So yeah, they did have their second IVF for baby number 2, but now they are moving on to IVF number 3 for baby number 2. So it's their 4th round. It's crazy. That's so much. Okay. Oh yeah. So Becca, you're at day 4 of stims. How are you feeling? Oh my gosh. All right, so that's pretty much it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for jumping in to hang out with me for a little bit. I'm going to wrap this up, and I just wanted to make sure the chat was done because I always ask questions and then I keep going and then I'm like, bye, but it's delayed. So anyway, so yeah. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Go to my Instagram, like I mentioned, and vote on the poll, or you can comment below. The comments will still come through after I close it out. But if you guys would be down for a podcast, what you guys think about that? You guys are so awesome to hang out with me and provide support to our fellow community of infertility warriors. I don't know what else to call us, you guys. I need to come up with like a cool name for this group we have. Okay. Janina, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that this was helpful for you. We are all in this together, guys. All right. Have a great night, you guys. I will catch you in my next video. Bye.